Heyo! Welcome to another episode of the Best Friends Discuss podcast. I'm your host, Mike. Co-host, Brad. Got Dane. Got Starscream. Spencer. Whatever. And this is part 2 of 2 of...
Two.
Let's call this what it is. Mike's redemption round.
I really want my redemption round. But yeah, so this is going to be part 2 of 2 of what is this?
I don't remember the
Outer
word
Limits.
you gave it.
Outlier. Yeah,
Outer Limits.
Equilibrium.
So all right.
Inception.
Yeah, that was the name.
Liar.
Spencer is the questionnaire.
Truth seeker, please.
Truth seeker. So, and should I explain the rules again?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
I mean,
As the
now that we
truth
actually have
seeker, let me break it down for everybody. Okay, they've each come up with a story and then one fake story, and I have to guess which story belongs to who and which one is the fake.
I couldn't say it better myself.
You couldn't say it at all.
Yeah, it took us about 10 times, but now we figured it out. We've got this. And this is Mike's moment to blow us away. Yep,
Yeah,
he's turning the
I'm in.
hat backwards.
He's gonna catch them all.
Great bros.
All right, well.
Don't make me go first. I don't care. You can make me go first. I don't care.
I'm going to start off by reading all 4. I threw a kid who hasn't been there. I went downtown with someone dressed as a cat. I was stabbed by a pencil. I broke a bone. So what they've done here is they've all made extremely vague answers. So they have inevitably learned quite a bit from round 1, which is a good thing. However, I won't be quite going down the line like they were last time. We're going to kind of mix things up.
Okay.
Mike, you broke a bone. Mm-hmm. Which bone?
Oh, sorry. The camera. Right here.
The right here bone?
Why you gotta bust my balls? I don't know what this is called.
Shin bone?
Like this is my, not like the muscle is my calf, but like it's not the I can't say
patella is
tibia.
your knee.
Huh?
Is it tibia?
Correct answer is lumbago. Brad, which kid did you throw?
My sister.
Wouldn't that also make you a kid?
Yeah, well,
So from that perspective, wouldn't you say that you just threw another human?
she was a much younger kid, okay?
All right. Which cat did you dress as, Dane?
I actually didn't dress as a cat. It was another person with me that was dressed as a cat.
Okay, I gotta say I don't like this part.
I went downtown with someone dressed as a cat. That makes it sound like you were dressed as a
Yeah,
cat.
someone was dressed as a cat, not I was dressed as a cat.
I went downtown with someone dressed as a cat.
Yes.
With someone.
Spencer,
Dressed
good
as a
God,
cat?
get off his balls. I was the one dressed as a cat.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop this. This is going off the rails. I think we should do what we did last time. Going one by one.
It's far more fun this
Did
way.
I bring too much heat?
I think it's just so much like, what is happening?
Okay. All right. I'll tone it down a little bit.
Okay.
Just a tad, a smidgen.
It's going from a 10 to a 9.
Who was stabbed by a pencil?
Who was stabbed by a pencil?
Oh shit! Oh god, guys, I fucked up.
Where were you stabbed?
Top of the head.
Mechanical?
No, it was a regular pencil.
Number 2?
Do you want to hear the story?
Maybe.
It was a number 2 pencil because that's the most common pencil.
Omelette du fromage?
Do you want to hear my story?
Yes.
Okay, so back in the classroom, they had those ceiling tiles that had holes in them, and when people would like throw the pencils and get them stuck in there.
I do.
I was one of those kids, and so what I did was I took the pencil. Oh, all right, I was gonna grab
You
pencil.
lost a pencil.
But so I took the pencil, and the teacher was out of the room. Like she had to go across to another classroom, and so I was just there, and I started throwing the pencil up in the air, trying to get it stuck in there, and I did, and I just kind of was like, all right, like I did it. Teacher came back, we started learning again, and then the pencil fell, and it went and stabbed me straight on the top of the head.
Which school?
Hillcrest.
You went to Hillcrest?
Mm-hmm.
Hillcrest Elementary?
Yeah, I went there from 4th grade to 6th.
Weird. So
Yeah.
did I.
Really?
Yeah, I left by 3rd grade, though.
Oh,
I was only there for 2nd and 3rd. It's actually where I met my friend Anthony.
shout out to Anthony.
Yeah, anywho. So you were stabbed at Hillcrest. What grade?
It was 4th.
Which teacher?
It was either, I can't remember because, so it was either Barry or Bennett. I think Barry was 4th grade and Bennett was 5th grade. Yeah. I think Barry was 4th grade. You can make notes. I don't care. Yeah. Barry was 4th grade. Bennett was 5th grade. And then 6th grade was Clap. 2 P's.
Clap.
Yeah.
They had the clap.
That was the joke. It's even funnier because his first name, I don't know. Well, I guess I just said his last name, so it doesn't matter. Was Rusty Clap. So it was.
Sounds made up. Dang. Which bone did you
Hi,
break?
buddy. Which bone did I break?
Mm-hmm.
This one, my big toe.
How'd you break it?
I fell down the stairs.
You gonna keep lying to me all day?
You've seen me fall down a bunch of things. And what's funny is I sort of rolled and just smashed it into the like right at the bottom. You know how we have that wall right at the bottom of the stairs before you turn down into the basement?
Mm-hmm.
I was rolling and I just toe right into the thing.
Hairline fracture?
I don't know. It was like when I was 10. I wasn't.
So you're
I
telling
wasn't
me a
looking
story
at the.
you
I wasn't
don't remember?
I remember the pain. I don't remember exactly how much I broke my toe. All I know is that the doctor told me that there was nothing they could do
For your toe.
for my toe. They basically were just like, "Here you go," and then they just like wrapped it around. They wrapped tape and like a little splint around it.
Nope.
Right on.
Nope.
Okay. Brad, I went downtown with someone dressed as a cat. I'm going to stick with my earlier line of questioning. Did you dress as a cat or was it someone else?
It was someone else.
Okay. Why don't you tell me about that story of your downtown cat experience?
Well, as you might imagine, it was Halloween, so everybody was dressed up.
As cats?
I mean,
From the musical?
A vast majority, people.
most of the women.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What do you got? What's going on?
I mean, it was Halloween. We headed down to, what is it? Is it 8th and Main? What is that freaking? It's no longer there. They got switched out to something else, but
I don't recall, to be honest.
neither do I. That's the problem. But we started there, and then we went over to Hump and Hannah's for a little bit, and then we ended up, I think, by the end, we went and got some pita pit and made fun of the Power Rangers that were over there in front of the balcony.
The Power Rangers?
That's what we used to call the guys that would have all the different colored bikes that would park right in front of.
The best part about it is you said the balcony, so I was like, huh, like, is that like a derogatory term for gay people?
The Power Rangers.
And then we went up to the Power Rangers.
It was morphin' time.
Yeah, it was one of those things that, back in high school when we used to, drive around the loop and that, and we'd always drive by that part in the balcony. There was always like 10 bikes, and you'd one of each color, and they all had matching freaking suits and whatever. And it's like, goddamn Power Rangers are sitting here.
Yeah, my cousin did a similar thing. They did the mini crotch rockets, the teeny tiny, the pocket rockets, and they all did different colors and dressed did Power Rangers to the But you said you were in high school and you were going into the bars, is that right?
No.
No.
It's just
God,
back in high school, we used to make fun of like the whole Power Ranger type thing.
Were you just not morphin time or what?
Is that what coming out of the closet is? Morphin time.
Is the balcony.
Okay, Mike,
Mm-hmm.
you threw a kid.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Very sad. I can't believe I done it.
Okay, I done it.
I done did it.
Which kid did you throw?
So this was back in elementary school. It was actually first grade, and
Kid on kid violence.
it was pretty much.
The worst kind of violence.
For some
I don't know if
reason,
it's the worst.
for some reason, this kid and I just did not get along, and so we were just playing in the playground, and he just decided to we locked eyes across the playground, and he just started running at me, and so I took him and I basically like a linebacker kind of thing, came at me. I put down my shoulder and I kind of just picked him up because I was a little bit bigger, and then I kind of just suplexed him, I threw him down, and his head got really close to the outline of the playground. The outline was made out of train track wood kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so his head was right near there, and so I took his head and I went boom, 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 and I smashed his head on the wood outline of the playground. Okay, I don't like that you're making notes. You fucking asshole.
Well, my issue here, Mike, is it's the same problem I had with this guy, which is the whole you're throwing a kid as a kid.
Yeah,
Does that count as throwing a kid, or does that just count as throwing someone
I'm
else?
looking at the
Because
perspective.
I've thrown a kid.
Listen.
I've done that. I've done that as an adult man. I've thrown a child.
Or maybe it was a frame of perspective. Right now, I am currently not a kid. I'm 25. I'm not a kid anymore. So I'm saying I threw a kid
As a kid.
but I'm putting it in perspective for you.
I feel like you're doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi on me from a certain point of view.
No, I'm just saying I'm
Okay.
justifying
These aren't
my
the stories
reasons
you're
for
looking
writing a
for.
kid.
I'm going to laugh when I get to the end of this and I guess wrong on all of them. Anywho, only just because I really like this line of questioning. Dane, which kid did you throw?
So it was in 6th grade and if you're going to ask,
Fucking noobs.
at a
Get out there, throw real children as an adult. Make memories.
If you're going to ask where it was at a Waihi Elementary.
Of course it was.
I was a pretty skinny kid at that time. I had a lot of problems, health problems and things like that. And so I never really gained a whole lot of weight. As you can see, I don't have that problem anymore.
Is this what spurred the rage?
No. It's just
the
more
broken
of a-
toe
it's-
did.
broken toe. Actually, what spurred the rage was the guy called my mom a bitch.
In 6th grade?
In 6th
Wait, hold
grade.
up. The guy, was there another person? Was this an adult man?
No.
No.
The guy.
This was a kid.
This was a kid.
Please
that was
use
my
the correct.
I'm sorry. The kid who was an overweight. He was a
me.
male.
It was me.
You know what? This is Spencer. Your story's full of Swiss cheese.
And then after he said that, all I knew was that I had grabbed him and basically flipped him, using momentum, flipped him up over my back and onto the ground. And he just sort of smashed there. And then I didn't know what I was doing, so I went and grabbed someone. And I got in trouble for that, as well as he got in trouble.
Well, yeah.
And that's how we ended up going to counseling.
Together.
Actually, it was together. It's the weirdest part because
Can I phone a friend? Can I call Becky? Can I ask her, like, hey, remember that time Dane threw that kid, and see what she says?
You know what the funniest part is?
She doesn't remember this.
No,
She deleted her number. She's out of state.
she was so afraid. She was so afraid that I couldn't actually defend myself that she never punished me for fighting a kid, basically, because she was like, I'm happy that he at least did something. Like, he didn't just get his ass handed to him.
I mean this in the nicest way possible, and with all due respect, that part is believable.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to hear more about this kid you threw. From what I remember, it was something about a sister.
It was a sister.
You were also a kid.
I was also a kid.
Which
Although there is at
his-
least a 4-year difference, so I think it would be more apt to say a teenager threw a kid.
The thing is like, kids throwing kids. That's normal
Oh,
stuff.
I hate kids on kids violence.
Yeah, get the adults in there. Show them the real world.
Show them the real world.
See, you threw your sister. Will you walk me through this?
How does one throw their sister?
Bright summer day.
It was about 9:02 a.m. on a Monday.
11 birds were going by.
2011.
I mean, if that was the case, I wouldn't be a kid at that point, so it would work under your standing.
I mean, call me a villain. Would have made the story a lot more interesting if these were adults chucking kids. All right. So you threw your sister. What was going on here?
So, just at my house, we were kind of hanging out, whatever else. My friends were coming over, and as little sisters are, they're annoying as hell. And so she was just annoying me and everything else. So eventually, with her just being in my room, I picked her up and literally just threw her out of my room into the damn hallway.
How many bones she break?
None.
She bleed a lot?
No, unfortunately.
Your sister listens to this.
This is going to cost you some points.
I'm curious what notes you're making.
Shh. When you're the truth seeker,
Yeah, you're right.
You can make
seek
your
the
notes.
truth. Mike,
Yes.
you went downtown with someone dressed as a cat. Now, you may have been the cat in the story, and you may not have been.
I'm going to disappoint you. I was not dressed as the cat. It was my friend. You want
Which
to hear?
friend?
Her name's Cassidy.
Cassidy, if you're listening, he's lying to me.
I am kidding. I don't have a friend named Cassidy.
You don't have a friend.
I don't have friends.
Okay, so you're downtown. You're with your friend Cassidy.
Yes.
Am I saying that right? Cassidy?
Yeah.
Like,
With a K.
oh, really?
Yeah.
You're fucking with me.
Would I lie to you?
Yes. That's the whole point of the game.
All right. You want to know?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it was Spirit Week at my high school. At Bora. And for Spirit Week, we of course dressed in the colors and stuff like that. Well, Bora is the Bora Lions. And so she
I thought
had
they were the Wildcats.
No, they're the
No,
Lions.
that's Columbia. Is it Columbia?
Isn't that also High School Musical?
Is that?
I don't know.
Wow. All right, go ahead.
I totally know.
Mike does know.
So you were the Lions.
The Leons.
Yeah, Bora Lions was our high school mascot. So for Spirit Week, she had cat ears, and she had whiskers, and she painted,
on the
black
nose,
nose and stuff, and she also had a lion's tail.
So she's kind of like half-assed a cat.
Yeah,
costume.
but I mean, she still looked like a cat, and so for the rest of the day though was just pretty much assemblies, and so it was high school. We didn't really care, so we just left. Like we called ourselves out because we were of age, and we just left for the rest of the day.
Wait, you were of age. What do you mean?
Like
Old enough to party? What do you mean here?
Like, well, when you're like 16, 17, a parent has to call you out. But when you're 18,
You just walk
you're
out
your
at
own
that
person. You can call out at that point. So
I
that's
didn't know that. I dropped out. Continue on.
So anyway, so we decided like
Learn something new every day.
I don't
Dane.
know
Shut
why
the
I
fuck
like
up.
that. I just
So-
thanks for opening old wounds. Fuck you.
so all three of us were of age, so we all just kind of left. It was my friend Cassidy and my friend Daniel, and we kind of all just left. Well, we didn't want to walk home, so we got on to the city bus. I've never rode the city bus before, and I don't think any of the other two I was with did either, and so we didn't know what stop to get off of. Like I was grabbing maps and trying to figure it out and
I'm
stuff.
going to interrupt you.
Okay.
Because it's part of my tactic.
Okay.
You're blessed to have just then started riding a city bus. Do you know that? One time I rode a city bus, and I shit you not, it was just like, you guys ever play Oblivion?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the NPC conversations?
Yeah.
And you remember how like weird and like they didn't sound
Uncomfortable.
like anything like in real life?
Yeah, no, they,
I was stoned as fuck on a city bus, and I shit you not, I'm pretty sure how they came up with the Oblivion speaking was they just recorded people on a city bus. Yeah.
So if it helps, we were just going to walk home. It was actually Cassidy's idea to get onto the city bus. I didn't want
Cassidy, is this true?
how does that help?
to. So I was getting maps and stuff and trying to figure out, well,
Maps
yeah, they have maps of their routes. So if
on
you're
the bus?
yeah,
God damn, that's fancy.
yeah, new age, right? And so like I figured out the route we were taking, and I said, okay, we need to get off here. And somebody, I think Cassidy or Daniel said, no, we can't get off right there. There's actually a stop earlier on, and so or later on. And so I was like, all right, fine. I basically got overturned on the decision. It was a 2-1 vote. Bastards. So then we missed the stop. We then missed all the other stops that would have been a little bit further away. And then we just ended up downtown because that's where they transfer, they shift change but the drivers. And so then we had to get onto a different city bus to then go towards our house. And so I was
Hold
downtown.
up. How did you afford the bus?
If you're a student, if you have your student ID, you can get on for free.
Really? They just let anybody on there with a little
Yeah.
fucking piece of plastic.
I mean, I think as long as it looks like you in the picture.
Damn
Okay.
socialists.
Okay, so you got on the bike. You got on the bus for free.
Yes.
It took you downtown,
Yes.
and then you had to take a different city bus somewhere else.
Yeah.
Where were you at downtown when you switched buses?
I couldn't tell you.
You couldn't tell you.
I
feel like that's a very important detail, Mike.
It really isn't. But this is what I will tell you. This is what I'll tell you because I didn't look at street signs because here's what happened was before the shift change happened, we told the bus driver where we needed to go, and they were like, you need to go to this bus or you need to get on this bus. It's 2 blocks down. So we got off and we had to run across downtown 2 blocks over to get to that bus or that numbered bus that was there. So what it was Cassidy, dressed as a cat, essentially, was skipping downtown trying to catch a bus. So
Why skip? It seemed like you guys were in a hurry.
yeah, we were in a hurry. I don't think she was actually skipping, but she wasn't running, she wasn't walking, but it was very much like a
Jogging?
no. Like she was like it wasn't like a usual form of getting around. Like
Trot? Like a
yeah,
trot?
yeah. She
horse?
kind of
Prancing.
Prancing.
yeah,
Prancing.
prancing, trotting, or skipping. Like she did something that wasn't the
Prancing,
average, just
trotting,
like
skipping, something a horse would do, you know.
well, it wasn't the average just walking or running. She was just kind of
Didn't
like
gallop at all.
yeah. So that's what it was.
Okay. You gave me a lot of information there. And I'm going to have to say that, like, most of it was not a lot of information. Jury's still out on that one. Dane,
Was it good?
you went
story, at least?
downtown with a cat.
Well, was someone dressed as a cat?
Yeah,
Was
you
that
calling
cat?
horse shit? What is that?
Shut up, Omega.
Please elaborate.
Of course.
It was with my friend Cassidy. It was 2011.
So I was in theater for most of my high school the time that I was there. I was going to say high school career, but that's not really a career.
Sorry for everyone who chose doing work in high school.
It's like what I was doing was not work in high school.
okay.
I was learning. Well, sort of. And they were an incredibly it was a standard theater group, so they were incredibly liberal and very open with different things. So it's where I met a lot of lesbians and bi people and transgenders,
That's
different
not the
things
proper
like that.
term.
Lesbians, bi, or transgender. Which one is that not the proper term?
All three.
All right. Good to know. Fuck you. It was also where I met my first furry, which is the person that I went downtown with.
Hey, good for you.
Was it Jonathan?
It was not Jonathan. Her name was Gabby. And it was an interesting moment because we had
Time out. This is just out of me being curious. Mm-hmm. Had she already had sex with someone? Because how could she be a furry if she's never even had sex, right?
what?
Furry is generally a sex term. Someone who dresses up as animals.
At
and
least
fucks each
according
other.
to her, you could be a furry just because you liked what they call a fursona.
It's like a verb.
Persona?
Yeah, so they had
She was woke before woke was a thing.
Yeah.
It was like
This cat's learning a lot today.
listen, like furry is
Meow.
It's like a subgroup.
like furry can be a noun and a verb. Like to furry.
Excuse me, it's a pronoun. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Gabby was a fursona.
So
Go ahead.
Gabby had her fursona, and I found this out by getting dropped off. We had a coffee shop that we were meeting the rest of the theater group at because it was for the Gay Pride Parade.
How old are you in this story?
17.
We had very different childhoods.
Jane,
We had a coffee shop with my furries or the
No. We were just dropped off.
like, that's all good.
I
but
was
like,
dropped off in front of the
17?
coffee shop.
Okay.
I was dropped off in front of the coffee shop
Okay.
to meet with everyone because that's where they had decided to meet, so that we could walk to where the Gay Pride Parade was going to be.
And where was it going to be?
It was like this. It was this. It's really weird. I don't know why we decided not to just go there immediately. We decided to go to what's the name of that? Fuck! It was like this. It was a park, and I can't think of one.
Wait, they had a
Downtown?
parade at a park?
No. There's a parade that ended at the park.
It ended.
It ended at the park.
Is it
Downtown?
and it was out of we went from downtown to this park, and I can't remember
the one
what
with
park
the
it was.
Morrison?
Is it with the
Camelback, I
Hold-
bet.
hey,
Come on now.
Hey, is it the one with the?
But I don't remember the name of it. But
Would you let him get a word in?
Yeah, all three of you. Is it the one with the amphitheater that got burnt down?
that does sound familiar. But we weren't near the amphitheater.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't remember exactly
That's okay.
where it was.
Continue.
But I was dropped off there, and I was the first one there. And then she randomly showed up, and this was the first time I'd ever seen her in her fursona, because she was like super fursona. I thought she was just in costume for the Gay Pride Parade, but she had like full on everything. Like she literally looked like a cat, like dressed all the way down from the point where like her face was all done up in makeup, all of her clothes.
What color?
She was a blue cat.
Is she colorblind?
Have you seen most furry costumes?
No. In fact,
It's like a green wolf.
like
Yeah.
a minute
Stuff
ago,
like that.
I didn't even know
Or
what the
blue,
fuck it was a
or pink.
fursona.
It's
And I
always
thought-
those three colors.
I always thought furries were just a sex thing only.
No.
No.
I mean, I imagined you could do it outside of sex, but I also thought it played a lot on the whole, like, I'm into this sexually as well.
I don't. I. That's
Man,
what,
so that means there's somebody out there who's a furry but doesn't enjoy furry sex.
probably just enjoys regular sex.
It's almost
People are fucked up, man.
it's almost like there's a world out there where a kid can throw a kid.
Well, yeah, but you wouldn't say I threw a kid. You just say I threw.
threw
If
another
you were a
person.
kid, you're like I threw Brian. Like it wasn't like I threw this kid. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
No,
Okay.
I think you're the only one on this.
So she's dressed as a blue cat.
She was dressed as a blue cat. It
Describe
came through. The only thing that she didn't have on that I've seen now that I didn't know, like back that, like some people make full on like mascot heads.
Yeah.
She just had the makeup and the ears on.
She had the ears.
And then she had basically it looked like a onesie almost, but like full on like blue fur. Like it looked like
Did it have a tail?
mascot. Yes. It did.
Was the tail attached to the onesie?
It was.
Or is it one of those really fancy like anal butt plug ones?
No, it was attached to the onesie.
Because I feel like the people that really care, really
the
get
ones,
into it.
The ones who are really into
They
it, yeah.
go. They put it. Yeah, they do the butt plug one.
Up to the.
It's more seamless.
Good God.
So she's half-assing it. Onesie, tail. What was her shoes? She
I would
wearing
argue
normal
she
shoes.
She was not wearing shoes. She was She had paws on.
I would argue she's not full-assing it.
Agreed.
Okay.
I
the
mean,
bottom
if
of her-
she's 17, she's coming out being like, "I'm a furry," and she's not even willing to do that. Like, how much are you committing to this role?
Yeah, come on.
Commit to the role.
Fucking amateur hour over here.
Continue
They
on.
looked like cat paws on the
Hands and feet, or just feet.
just feet.
So her hands were
She
normal.
she kept her hands normal.
Normal hands.
Can we all just do this?
Normal hands.
Brad,
Normal hands. She kept her hands.
Brad, participate.
The only thing
We're
she
not gonna-
had
there you
was
go.
that she had
Normal hands.
she had nails. That
Most
were
people
point-
do.
Well, I meant like they were pointed out.
Okay. So she like filed them.
No. She had like fake
Okay.
nails.
Okay.
Went on, and I
Anytime
basically
we're doing this again, he's always going to be the
Dude,
truth seeker.
is such passively aggressively such an asshole. And I love it.
I'm just
Most
being me,
people do.
folks. Just being me.
Most people do have fingernails. That is correct.
If you can't handle the heat, get out of the podcast room.
Again, it's like Spencer's like, that's the only truth I'm getting from this. Like
Yeah.
people have fingernails. You're right.
Dane.
I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna switch it up.
okay, I was saying that pretty much.
That's
my
the end of the story,
That's
though,
pretty much
right.
my end of the story. Yeah,
Where downtown again? I'm sorry.
I was in front of some coffee shop. I think it had an M in the name, I remember a big M on it. That's all I remember.
You drew a Q.
That was not a Q. That's a Q. M.
You know, my favorite
I'm also
coffee
le- I'm not
restaurant
left-handed.
that starts with a M.
M.
Jeez, I had a big ol' M on it. Okay, moving on.
M.
So you were in an unnamed coffee shop downtown that had an M on it.
I was not in the coffee
with
shop.
a
I
blue
was-
chick
I was in
who wasn't even willing to do the tail butt plug.
I was in front of the coffee
Downtown,
shop.
catting
and we
it
were
up.
waiting for people.
Part of drama.
Yes, part of a theater.
Okay.
Again, it's like he's just like your entire all of your stories are Swiss cheese. Every single one of ours, like
Brad, you got stabbed by a pencil.
I did. I was in high school.
prove it, bitch.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Brad was stabbed by a pencil. Where were you stabbed?
My arm.
Which arm?
It's right here.
What, that right there.
Right there.
You want
right
to
there.
lift up the sleeve?
Yeah, let's lift it up. I doubt you can see a spot anymore.
He erased it.
Okay. Walk us through this, Brad.
So, sat next to this kid that was pretty much a bully to me the whole time.
What was his name?
I don't fucking remember his name at all.
Brian.
So you're telling me this bully who bullied you and made your life horrible, who terrorized your
Oh,
entire
no,
existence.
he did not terrorize my entire existence, but
Okay.
he tried to make that class a piece of shit.
Okay.
It didn't work out too much in his favor, but he
Did he just take his girlfriend? Okay, continue on. He was
So he stabbed me, and we got sent to the principal's office, right? Because they want to know what's story was.
Standard operating procedure.
Standard operating procedure. Which the principal at the time, I freaking loved this guy. He was crazy old coot. He had a huge picture of Nixon on his wall.
Nice.
And his old paddle that he used to use, just like framed right up there, like on a hook. Yeah, it was great.
The good days.
Yeah, the good days. Back when, adults would throw kids and all.
If you ask me, we could use a little bit more of that.
Jesus.
So we went up there. So we went up to his office, and the kid started freaking out because he knew his ass was getting suspended.
Yeah, because he stabbed you.
Because he stabbed me. And he was a bully, so it's not like it was the first time he was in trouble.
Not his first offense.
Obviously.
Sure.
So we got pulled into the room, and I lied. And I said he didn't stab me.
Why did you lie? What possessed you?
Honestly, I thought I could get something like a one-up on him.
Like hold it over his head?
Yeah, kind of. Type of a thing.
Wouldn't that not work? Because then if later on you were like, he did stab me with the pencil, they're like, it's healed? Why didn't you just say that earlier?
Luckily, it paid off.
Okay.
So he
got a
the
girlfriend.
principal believed us or whatever. I don't think the principal believed it. I think he was more like I think you're afraid and you're not going to talk. But okay, we're going to believe it for right now. Yeah. And then I basically just told the bully, you ever do this again, then I can't remember
Your
the
ass
exact
is
threat, but it
grass.
was just something's going to fucking come of this. And we ended up, he stopped bullying me.
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's juvie. Sometimes you move away. They always move, though. There's something
Sometimes
you just
the kid that you stab with a pencil just doesn't turn you in.
That's true.
Sometimes you fall in love with them and look fondly into their eyes.
Dane, you got stabbed by a pencil.
I did indeed.
Is this true?
It is true,
I
yeah.
want you to look me directly in the eyes, and if you smile, you're lying to me.
You know I can't look at you and not smile.
Say the phrase, I was stabbed by a pencil. Not when I'm saying it.
God, that was so perfect.
I'll let you collect yourself.
Can't believe I got that to work. Oh,
Go ahead. When you're ready. When you collected yourself into my eyes, not my nose, not my upper lip, into the eyes.
you and not smile.
That's fucked up.
If it helps, I can't do it either.
I can't. It's not fair because I can't really see your eyeball. There's a glare.
I'll use it to my advantage. It's like an anime where it's like, shing, and it's like.
I don't watch animes
I don't either.
often. I don't watch them often.
Often.
Okay. Go
I
ahead.
was stabbed by a pencil.
Try it one more time.
I was stabbed by a pencil.
One last time.
I was stabbed by it.
Where were you stabbed at, Dane?
I was stabbed right here in the back, in the shoulder.
Was it Adam?
No, actually, it was Jonathan, and it wasn't so much stabbed as it was he threw a pencil at me
Why did he throw a pencil at you?
because I was being an incredible dick to him.
Can you please go into detail? How are you being a dick to Jonathan?
I was at the time I was 12, and he constantly wanted to be able to be with us. Like whatever I was doing with my friends, he wanted to be in there, like actually doing that with us, making sure that everything was going, making sure that he was part of it. And I basically constantly was making fun of him, and my friends were laughing at him, and it came to the point where I just ended up pushing him down. And he got mad, stood up, tears in his face, and I was laughing, and I turned around, and apparently it wasn't just a pencil that he threw at me. He just grabbed a bunch of stuff and just hucked it at me until the point when there was a pencil just got put right into my...
So is it like kind of like in the movies, like you turn around and there's just like a fucking pencil sticking out of you? Or
No,
like
it was more like it was more like it went in, and I was like, ah, because it was literally just
so
like,
it lodged. It like
it went in it went in enough that it actually you could feel it.
See, I want to call it bullshit because I live at your house, and there has never once been a sharpened fucking pencil.
Well, this is back when when people were in school, so we had to have sharpened pencils.
Oh my god! I'll help you out here.
Okay. All right. Mike,
Yes.
you broke a bone.
Yes.
Where?
By the way, I Googled it. I Googled the name of this bone.
And?
The tibia.
That's what I said.
Is what he said.
But there's also the fibia, too.
Great. I said
So
tibia.
you specifically broke the tibia.
Yes.
And you're telling me, how old were you? when you broke your
So
bone?
I was 13 going to 14.
13 on 14, huh?
Yep.
Kind of like the movie. 13 going on 30.
Yeah.
Not a
except
bad
for,
movie. The
except for-
remake.
with Jennifer Gardner.
I think so.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, right?
Was 13? Wait, there was a remake of 13 going on 30?
Yeah. Jennifer Gardner, Mark Ruffalo, I believe.
Yeah, for a lot of people, they think that's the original because they never saw the other ones, which makes sense because the newer one's better anyways. Anywho, so you broke your tibia. You were 13 going on 14. I imagine it hurt like hell. How'd you break it?
So I was at camp.
Which camp?
Well, I hate telling this story. I went to asthma camp.
That is not a real fucking thing.
It is very much a real fucking thing.
You went to asthma camp.
So, okay.
They teach you how to breathe or what? Or was it
This is-
recreational breathing?
Okay, so
Nothing but macaroni necklaces at that place.
so basically what it was a program that they had like through the asthmatic society of, like, I don't know the proper name for it, but it was basically like they wanted us to go to camp, and we did the usual camping things, like we fished, we went on hikes, we did campfires and stuff like that. But what they also did was to show us, like, they did actually show us how to breathe properly through physical activities. So like when we went on a hike and somebody had like an asthmatic attack, we were able to, like, okay, what do we need to do? Because on hikes we were going on inclines, the air was getting denser.
I know what a
and stuff.
hike is, yes.
Yes. Yes. So
I feel like you're stalling for time to
In
come
order
up
to
with
help
other
prevent
shit.
the asthma, they broke the tibia.
so
You're not going to think about your asthma when you're screaming about your leg.
but no, like, they actually did truly, like, teach us how to do it, especially through activities. So like we went white water rafting on a few times and stuff like that. So it was a proper camp, but it was more centered around like learning how to control your asthma.
That is a relief for me because when you first said asthma camp, I didn't believe you. But then you were like, no, it's real. And I was
still
like,
didn't believe you.
and I was like, okay. But then in my mind, I'm like picturing like a bunch of young ass little kids just like staring out a window, not having a good time. And I was like, that's sad. That's a bummer. But you're coming in and you're telling me that's not the case at all. You guys were having a good time hiking, whitewater rafting,
Fishing. Yeah.
chasing down bulls, whatever it may have been.
Yeah, spear hunting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. So it was at asthma camp, and what it was so you went across this bridge because there was the river there where we did most of the fishing, right? And so you went across this bridge, and then you kind of went up this incline, and then it doubled back up, and then went up more. And so it was kind of like a hilltop kind of thing, like am I painting the picture right?
Yeah.
So like you could jump down from the top of this the highest path.
Is that how you broke?
To the bottom path, and that's what I did was we were actually coming down from a hike, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna cut the line, and so I jumped off of the thing and I landed wrong, and I broke my. It was a very mild break, but I broke it, and actually had to spend the rest of summer or asthma camp in like basically held up.
What was the lesson you learned?
Don't go first.
No, it's shortcuts. You don't take them. So you were 13, 14 years old. You broke your fucking tibia. I'm sure they eventually took you to a hospital, maybe after camp. I don't know. They get you there, and you get a cast, I would imagine, right?
No.
What do you mean no?
No,
Your
it was
leg just healed wrong?
no, it like okay. So no, we didn't like they didn't like immediately like go take me to a hospital.
Well, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They may have waited because maybe they thought you just sprung it or something.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
But no, like so essentially like it was like 3 days left at asthma camp. And so like they just kind of like they wrapped it the best they could. They put a splint on it and stuff like that. And so I just basically like they had crutches. Like it was still a fully operational like campground. And so I was just on crutches, and then when I got home,
They took you to the hospital.
That's when I went to the hospital.
And they eventually put a cast on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you broke your tibia. You didn't know that you broke your tibia when you went to the hospital. Like, you had to look that up. You told me that. That's
Yeah.
something you said.
Yeah, because I don't remember the bone.
The
I
point
was in
I'm
an
going
amount
through
of
this is
pain.
my fucking the reason I'm going through this line of questioning, Mike, is my cousin has gotten himself fucked up more times than I can count. He's
Okay.
torn both of his ACLs. He almost died in the Philippines. There's like a lot of different stories.
I would love to hear those stories.
But the thing is, the main point is every single significant injury he's ever had, he can name it. He can say, I broke my tibia.
Right.
Without having to look it up. Because it was not a fun experience, right?
And I get that. But like when it happened, I was in so much pain, right? Like I was in a good amount of pain until they gave me, the good stuff, like narco and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, but your bone doesn't heal overnight, right?
Right.
So for the next months, when people were asking you about this,
So again, didn't really realize I broke my tibia at the through the rest of camp, the next 3 days, right?
Okay.
And so, but when we went to the hospital, my mom took me to the hospital, she dealt with all that stuff. So I couldn't tell you what, I don't know what bone this is.
Well, yeah, you
I
haven't
can't
broken it.
tell you.
Mike's so angry.
I'm just saying, it's just not something that I thought of because, yeah, it sucked, it hurt, but I was also 13, and I was like, yeah, I broke a bone.
Okay.
I could just tell you I broke a bone. I couldn't tell you, you know how many ankle bones there are in your foot?
More than you think.
More than you would think. Can
Ankle
you
bones
name
in
it?
your
You'd
foot?
expect.
Most of them are going to be in your ankle.
The thing is
You know what I mean,
haven't
though.
broke my ankle, so no, I wouldn't know those names.
Yes.
But if someone was if I had broken my ankle, I'd be like, I broke my
Well, it's the same.
bika-baka-booka.
It's the same thing with your back, where it's what AC 130 did you break in your thing?
It was between my L5 and my L4. Thank you.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
All right, thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Why are you so angry today? What's going on? You want to hug it out?
I haven't gotten a hug in a while. Actually, you hugged me when you walked in. Never
I
mind.
did.
It was a good hug.
It was hurtful because he says he hasn't gotten a hug in a while.
I think I was meaning more of that was a hey, how's it going, Mike, and a hug. But nobody has to hug me and just be like, everything will be okay.
Nobody's Goodwill Hunting, do you?
How do you like them apples?
Dane, which bone did you break again?
My big toe on my right side.
Did you just point at your left foot?
No, my big toe on my right side.
Okay. Brad, which bone did you break?
Left pointer finger.
How'd you do that? Please
It's a
say
funny
throwing
story.
a kid. Throwing a kid.
I threw a kid into my pointer finger.
Funny enough, I was throwing a kid. It was actually my son. No.
Checks out. He does have a son.
So I was hanging out with some friends, and there is what we used to call the dirt tracks up by my old house. And so it's over by the New York Canal, end of 5 Mile and that. So just a bunch of dirt tracks that people made for bikes and that. And there was a bunch of rocks there. And bees had, or more than likely, they were probably wasps, had made nests within these rocks. And so we were picking up rocks and throwing them at wasps because we're geniuses.
Wasps bring out the best in us.
Yes. And I went down to pick up a rock, and another friend threw a rock because there was a wasp close to me and went right on my frickin' finger and broke it.
You know, we used to have wasps in the tubing of our fence. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they go in there. It was around 4th of July. Me and my stepbrother went out there, and we were putting firecrackers in each end, and it just blow those fuckers right out. Problem is one of the times all the bees didn't like, because usually the percussion of it, especially in the tubing, would leave them dazed so you could get away.
It didn't do that one time.
It didn't do it one time, and the wasp was like coming at us, and I don't know why, but I was armed with my dog's leash, and it had the metal end, and then we had the metal chain on it. And I remember I went to like swing to like get the wasp away from me, and it just wrapped around and fucking pegged my stepbrother right in the face and dropped him. Okay. I think I'm ready for my final decision here.
Okay.
And I think that I probably messed one of these up because you guys got fairly good with like giving backstories and like a lot of information. And the trouble is I have to weed through all the bullshit, right? I have to weed through all your fucking made up crap and try to find the one that is something, right? So the problem is I still have to figure out which one's my fake.
Yeah, the Outlier.
Yes. Good call, buddy.
Oh, God.
Need the Jeopardy sounder right now.
So do I just go through one at a time and tell which one I think is true, and then you guys tell me here?
We're doing it like we did before, where you say you think this,
Okay.
this, and this, and then one person reveals their true one.
Well, that wasn't that was the accidental thing of like, go ahead, guess again. But I mean, I'm okay with it.
Okay. All right.
Because I was so wrong.
Well, it wasn't my
'Cause I was so
intention,
wrong.
but it wasn't my intention. But yeah,
I kind of like it, though.
yeah, I do too.
What do you think, Brad?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, here we go.
Do you? Never mind.
What? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, who are we gonna decide to get revealed?
I don't know. I guess that's up to you guys. I guess we'll see if I'm right on any of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's going to be the first thing.
Oh, I thought we were going to do it where you say 3, and then one
Yeah,
person
but if he's
reveals.
right, then we're gonna.
Oh,
We
if
don't
he's
need
right,
to
we're gonna
reveal.
Oh, okay. I thought he was going to do it until we could, so we could not make sure we don't. He still doesn't know who's right until the end.
I'm going to toss up on which one I think is full of shit. Which one's the fake. And I've narrowed it down to either I broke a bone or I threw a kid. Now, I want to say I threw a kid is fake because I feel like none of you have adequate experience in throwing children. Whether you were a kid or not. Okay. The next one is I broke a bone. And I think that one could also equally be fake because not only is it extremely vague, but we all know someone who's broken a bone. But it would almost be more surprising if none of you had broken a bone, which thus that would be the fake story, right? However, Dane is a clumsy son of a bitch. And I could really see him breaking a bone. Really could. Really could. But I also have never heard you talk about breaking a bone ever.
That is true.
In your fucking life.
That is very true.
Okay. This is how I'm going to go through. I'm going to go ahead and say I broke a bone is fake. I guess we'll find out here in a minute. I threw a kid. I feel like if any of those are true, Brad. Brad threw a kid. Brad threw a kid. I went downtown with someone dressed as a cat. Now, even though that is plausible enough to be any of you, I feel like it fits Dane the most. I was stabbed by a pencil. I believe is Mike. Now, let's see how wrong or right I am.
So, you only got the Outlier one right.
So, I broke a boat is fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that I know that's a fake, and the rest are real, can I have another shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take another shot.
Sure.
Okay. So all the others were not real, or were not right for you.
Yeah,
guys.
you weren't on
Yeah.
the right
Okay.
track.
Nope. Are we gonna do like we did before, or are we counting the fake as the reveal?
I would
At
say
the
that
end,
counts as the reveal.
Oh,
since I got
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
He
right.
got the outlier.
Yeah.
We went from 4 to 3, so it's like a funnel.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna say Brad was stabbed by the pencil, Dane threw a kid, and Mike went downtown with a cat.
Hot damn,
We got them all.
he got them all right. So,
You're the truth seeker!
oh god, that's gonna be loud.
Oh, sorry. The truth seeker.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a thing. Yeah,
Just edit that out.
yeah. So my whole going downtown with Cassidy dressed as a lion was really true, and she did actually like do the skip trot thing, like
Prancing.
yeah,
We landed on prancing.
yeah. So that
Yeah,
actually
you
happened.
gave enough details on that one that I was like, that is possible. But you had so much of it that you're like, I don't remember, I don't know where, I don't this, I don't that, the buy it, this, that, and then but then you would have key elements to the story that I was like, okay, that could be plausible.
like, how did I get on the bus?
Yeah, yeah. And then I was stabbed by a pencil. I was like, that's believable because I've thrown pencils up. And
You
done
know
that.
what? I've actually never done that.
Really?
I was like, it's like the same people who like staple their hands just to like staple their hands. I'm like, you're
Oh,
an
you never
idiot.
did that? You grabbed the stapler? Why?
Yeah, no, I've never done that.
Yeah,
Right
we
on
used
your arm?
Yeah, we used to do it right here. all
Yeah.
the time.
Right on your forearm.
I
Yeah.
never done that. I never threw a pencil up in the air because I'm like, that's stupid. So
Yeah, we literally filled an entire wall once. Entire wall was spit wads because we were all aiming at the clock and we were terrible. and then above us, it was just like a sea of pencils.
but yeah, no, I've never done that. By the
Yeah,
way,
so I figured I was like, you had enough of those stories that I was like, if he wasn't throwing the pencil up, like so, which that's something I would do, but I never had one come back down. But I was like, it's not improbable, right? So figured if it wasn't that, it had to be that one.
I've actually seen it like come down and miss someone, but
Yeah, but that's my scene. Like that is such a like to actually stick and then come and then land like that.
yeah,
And then even enough to actually like even make you bleed a little bit is pretty.
I never said I bleed. But
No, I know, but hey, I still chose that one as your original.
yeah. By the way, real quick, asthma cap was actually real.
Oh yeah, I believe
Oh,
that.
yeah,
part.
we got that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I figured, but I was
When I
like,
tell people that's the exact reaction is like, no way. Did they teach you how to breathe? Well, you're not wrong because we actually did go on a very like inclined hike. It was like it was like 9 miles up and then we spent the night camping and then it was like a 5-mile hike down through 3 rivers.
the reason why that like I was like immediately was like that one is probably not true. There's a decent chance that because I'm sorry. Every time
No.
I've been to a hospital, I know why I've been to the hospital.
So you're exactly
There's
right.
never-
I just
Yeah.
didn't expect you when you first like was like just rapid firing questions.
Yeah,
That's why
scared
I was like,
everybody.
okay, no, we need to stop this. We need structure because I could have just been like, oh, yeah, I broke my leg. I broke my leg bone or whatever. Like I broke
leg.
my leg.
But see,
Das
there's
leg bone.
the rapid fire though. That's only
what
for
to
the
throw you
beginning.
off,
It's
yeah.
it's a beginning tactic that you have to think on your feet to answer something, and then for the rest of the time, I can take my time to make you elaborate on your quick
Yeah,
decision.
I think it was a good call. I gotta say that.
Like I'm fine with it,
liked
but
it.
like it's not even like he like picked one. He wasn't like, oh, you broke a leg. He was just like, Mike, what leg or what bone did you break? And it's like, yeah, like give me a chance, like give me the prompt at least so I could just be like, yeah, I broke my arm, or I broke my collar or something like that.
prepared.
So
what can I say?
no, like it was
I
good.
make a good negotiator /
That's
interrogator.
why then I had to like try to figure out how to get out of it and spin a tail. That's why I spun that.
Yeah, broke bone one. I didn't believe Brad's and Dane's. I was like, it's plausible, but I just don't see you falling down those stairs. I feel like your parents would have said something to me about that. The most believable part about Dane's story was that I threw the kid, and the last part was about the mom.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, that is something Becky would do or
I know.
say.
That's why I threw it in because I was like,
And stabbed by a pencil, that was like, I was like, the second it wasn't Mike, I was like, it definitely has to be Brad because Dane I'm sorry. I don't care about what bullshit you, Jonathan. Throw a pencil.
Oh
that
no, it
sticks
was
in
all
your
bullshit.
back.
Yeah.
Dane was actually very concerned about of lying. Like he's like, I'm not a good storyteller, and I'm just like, I honestly,
Yeah, but I
thought
know
you did great.
him. Yeah.
That's more
Yeah.
what I'm.
Yeah, like if it was a bunch of randoms, anybody's fairly okay at lying because you don't know them. The second you know them, it's a lot harder to lie because you're like, fuck. Like when I went out there, that was my thing. I even told them, I was like, Dane knows me. Dane's heard most of my stories. I have to think of a story Dane hasn't heard or doesn't remember.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, same thing with Brad and I but that's why I just tell stories that I'm like, I'm pretty sure I haven't told Brad this. So
That's why I liked the fact that I ended up with the cat one first.
Well, Brad's cat story, I was like, could it happen? Sure. Did it happen? No. That's not even a full story. It's just like, I was downtown, there was a cat lady. Power Rangers. I was like, could have happened.
yeah, but no, I think you did a good job. I do think that
I still needed one. I
Mike-
still needed one reveal to narrow
Yeah.
it down because I really was like, these were my two big ones right here, and I
Yeah.
knew that I have it marked on who I thought would be the best candidate essentially from the story. But when I got to Broke a Bone, I was like, everyone breaks a bone, but it would be far more surprising if none of them had broke a bone, and thus that would make the best outlier.
So
Technically, Brad.
I'm
has-
the only one that has, apparently.
Really, you actually have, but that was your fake story though. Still,
Yeah.
I haven't broken a bone. I just
I've broken multiple bones, actually.
I've always come close. I've actually there was a muscle in here that actually got torn, and I couldn't rotate my arm without it just shooting with pain, and that was from football.
I never have broke a bone, but I dislocated my shoulder and popped it in myself. And I may have never broken a bone, but I don't ever want to do that again.
Yeah, no,
And if
no
breaking a
thanks.
bone is anything like that, no thanks.
Most of mine are fingers, but the worst one was actually, I did break the bone right here. And yeah, I had to drive myself home from school because it happened at school. And it drove and
Jesus.
it sucked because I had manual transmission.
I was about to say, wasn't that your Mustang? Yeah.
No, it was my probe at the time.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, so manual transmission. It got to the point where I was just like, no, I got to the point where I would shift with the other hand.
Right.
And just lean over. I'm like, nope, that sucks.
But you know what? Overall, I think Spencer, you did a really good job. Dane, you did a really good job. Both being as the truth seekers and the deceivers. So I really like this concept. I do agree that we'll figure out a better situational stuff with it. But I think it was a hit. I think it was fun.
It's one for the books.
Yeah.
Good time.
So
I like when we just leave Mike hanging.
yeah, I know it's great.
Hey, don't
Mike-
forget to follow us on Facebook, watch our videos on YouTube, and anywhere else that you can find podcasts. We've got some merchandise if anybody likes sweatshirt and that on teespring.com/stores/best friends discuss.
And when it actually goes on, these guys will let you know. But my podcast is going to be starting up, Dane and Friends. Why is Mike being all weird?
No, I'm just Dane and Friends. Boom.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Brad,
all
add the graphic here.
all these guys have been on one episode or the other, and actually the first one that's going to be going up is one with Spencer and my brother.
I heard there's a
Jonathan
lawsuit
is his name.
pending.
There's a lawsuit pending. He's a liar. A big liar.
An
It's
outlier.
going to be a blast.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep an eye out on their stuff. They will let you know when I get going.
Mike, did you have fun?
I had a great time.
Because you seemed angry most of it.
That is true.
No, I had a great time. I am very good at improv and very good at just creating a story. And
You were, as far as redemptions go, you did much better the second time around.
thank you. I'll take it.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.